but I represent science.
Of course you do. A new variant is here. How deadly is it? Are there more lockdowns coming? More mandates? Well, tonight, we're going to tell you everything you need to know to give you a booster of fear to keep you controllable. So, listen up! The Planned Democrats are very pleased to announce the new variant, the Omicron variant. How deadly is it, Mr. Science?
Has the molecular characteristics that would strongly suggest that it would be more transmissible.
Yeah, but no one's dying. And we wish they were. Let's get into it. At a genetic level with the Omicron variant, if you rearrange the letters, it tells you exactly what you are if you believe our fear-mongering around it. Now, the world is shocked to hear that the virus has mutated into a new variant, which is surprisingly exactly how viruses behave. And you should be terrified of this unpredictable viral behavior. But what should you believe about the new variant? Well, the boy who cried wolf says you should believe the boy who cried wolf. And I think that's a boy worth believing. More from Dr. Elf on a Shelf in a minute. But first, just how deadly is the new variant? Well, here's what the South African doctor who identified the Omicron variant has to say about how deadly it is.
But looking at the mildness of the symptoms that we are seeing, currently there is no reason for panicking as we don't see severely ill patients.
Mild symptoms and no severely ill patients? Devastating. Sounds like we should be panicking. Let's find out more. We've all come to love that time of year when domestic terrorists who hold public office terrorize us for our protection with their expert scientific advice that's based in science fiction. Now, getting to the bottom of the story, what really happened with the new variant? Well, it's been reported that on November 24th, the nation of South Africa refused to buy more doses from Pfizer, saying they don't need it anymore. Then just 2 days later, the World Health Organization announced that a new variant had been discovered in South Africa, and worldwide flights from South Africa became banned. And Joe Pharmaceutical Biden got in on punishing South Africa by banning all flights from South Africa to the US. Here's what he had to say about the travel ban. A wall will not stop the coronavirus. Banning all travel from Europe or any other part of the world will not stop it. Oops, I think that's what he said when Trump did it. Here's what Biden had to say about when he did it. Here's what it does. It gives us time, scientific as always. And Kamala Harris took a break from blowing her way to the top to get in on the fear-mongering orgy when she had this to say about the travel ban. Trump's extended un-American travel ban undermines our nation's core values. It is clearly driven by hate, not security. Guys, I think these are their old tweets. Do we have the new ones? No? Oh, well, for our fearless leaders, the new variant's clearly the best thing since concentration camps when it comes to implementing a totalitarian takeover, even though Australia and Canada already have theirs built. And Dr. Fauci, who's never treated a single COVID patient, said it's too early to tell if more lockdowns or mandates will be necessary. Odds makers are estimating a 100% chance that Dr. lying to Congress will eventually deem it very necessary to implement more lockdowns and mandates. But we'll see, as he is a man of science, so continuing to do things that don't work, aside from working to destroy our country, which is actually the goal, is the scientifically right thing to do. Keeps everybody safe. Meanwhile, in Florida, everyone seems to be doing really well without being tyrannized with fear and totalitarianism. But luckily, according to Al Gore, Florida will be underwater 5 years ago. So when that happens, we won't have to worry about Florida ruining the whole plan anymore. And rest assured that Fauci has met with Biden to fill him in. A very important meeting, I'm sure, as now the president will be able to put his pretend cognitive ability to work trying to solve the pretend problem. During the meeting, Dr. Crimes Against Humanity said, while it will take about 2 more weeks to have more definitive information on the transmissibility, severity, and other characteristics of the variant, he believes existing vaccines are likely to provide a degree of protection. Well, that's Likely a very scientific thing to say. It'll be 2 more weeks before we know anything about this thing, but it's safe to say that our shot will likely work against this thing that we don't know about. Likely, probably, maybe. Science! This just in! A federal court has blocked Biden's mandates in 10 states. Having never been elected to public office, and with no polls to show his approval rating, other than his score on Rotten Tomatoes and his YouTube trailer, some have questioned Fauci's trustworthiness after he's been caught repeatedly lying about funding the Wuhan lab and caught lying to Congress. But may we remind you,
I represent science.
the new New York governor, whose name I don't care about, is quickly picking up the torch and following in her predatory predecessor's footsteps, as she's already declared a state of emergency in New York because of the new variant. This even before a single case of the moronic variant has been found in New York. What is the definition of fear-mongering? Thus far, with her track record of useless leadership, expect her to order all sick people into nursing homes pretty soon, just to see how that works again. But what does CNN have to say? Oh, scientists are worried. Got it. Of course they are, CNN. With regard to CNN's relationship with the news, we can all reminisce about WWE wrestling, when in the 70s and 80s, we all knew it was fake. WWE pretended it wasn't, but people still watched. Then in the 90s, the WWE announced, yeah, it's fake. It's just for entertainment. We can only be left wondering when CNN will make their announcement. That's it for today's update on the moronic variant. Are you scared? Do you feel more controllable? Well, you should. Now get back in your homes, you dirty people, or else you're gonna die. Unless you have a relationship with God, in which case you don't really fear death because you know death is only an illusion, and all that's possible is for you to be reborn into a more expanded awareness of your true nature, which is divine. But you're not really controllable in that state, are you? So be scared, because you're gonna die. Good night. Hi. As your doctor, in order to protect our connection against growing censorship, I'd like to prescribe you to join my Freedom Fighter email list. Just go to awakenwithjp.com/join me. I'll see you on the inside. Oh yeah, real quick, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Magnesium Breakthrough, made by Bioptimizers. Now you might be asking, JP, does the world's most handsome man ever get stressed out? Well, the answer is yes. Sometimes I do. And then sometimes I try to solve my problem of stress by worrying about it and like stressing about my stress and like I shouldn't think this way and like what's gonna happen next. And believe it or not, that actually doesn't help. It makes my stress worse. But what does help is Magnesium Breakthrough. That's why I take it religiously every day to help me effectively reduce my stress. Most people don't know that one key nutrient can effectively help you reduce a lot of your stress, and that nutrient is magnesium. But the problem with magnesium is our soils are so depleted that most people are low in magnesium. Or if you take magnesium, unfortunately you're probably only taking 1 weak form of it. But to effectively reduce your stress, you need all 7 forms of magnesium. And that's what Magnesium Breakthrough delivers. Personally, I take it every day in the evening to help me reduce my stress so I can feel happier, calmer, and ultimately feel and function my best with great sleep. Now, you got a choice. You can be the type of person that gets stressed and doesn't do anything about it, or the type of person that gets stressed and does more stressful things about it, or you can be the type of person that gets stressed and does something effective about it. If you want to join me in using Magnesium Breakthrough to feel and function your best and reduce your stress, just go to magnesiumbreakthrough.com/JP and use the discount code JP2021 for the best deal ever.